Kira and welcome to another vlog. Today is Tuesday the 24th of November. We are now in the final full week of November, which I'm so excited about because it is nearly Christmas and I fully cannot wait. And with that in mind, I'm currently still in the middle of a festive read, which is Christmas at the Island Hotel. I started this book last week as part of the Gilmore Girls readathon, and I'm still only 213 pages into this book, so I've still got just over 100 pages left to go. But this is a festive book set on a small island just off the coast of Scotland. It's a really tight-knit, small community with a new hotel that is just opening, and it is such a wonderful book. I basically describe this book as a Hallmark movie in book form, so it's really cozy, really cheesy, but in like a nice festive way, and I'm loving it. So this is my top reading priority right now because I really want to get it finished, and to be perfectly honest, I don't think it'll take me too long because it's just such a fun and lovely and easy to read book. And then the other book I'm prioritizing this week is The Turn of the Screw by Henry James, which I'm reading as part of the Dark Academics book club, and the live show for this book will actually be on my channel on Saturday evening. I generally like to wait until quite close to the live shows before I read the Dark Academics books, just because I like to make sure that they are fresh in my mind for all of the wonderful discussions that we all end up having. And this is a book which is literally like 160 pages long, so it shouldn't take me too long to get through, and it is also a reread, so I'm looking forward to revisiting this book and also hopefully getting started with my watch of The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is loosely based around the events of this book. Another thing we have going on today, because it is Tuesday the 24th of November, is half excitingly and half devastatingly the final of the Great British Bake Off, a show which I'm sure many of you know is my absolute favourite. I love it with all of my heart, and it is usually the highlight of my year. And this year I'd say potentially even more so than normal, because there was a period in the summertime when, because of the first lockdown, it wasn't actually clear whether or not we were going to get a series of Bake Off this year, but they managed to do a bubble system which allowed the show to continue, and now it's pretty much over. So I'd love to know if you're watching Bake Off who you're backing to win. I'm personally backing Peter. I think he's great and I really hope he wins, not just because I picked him out of our sweepstake at the beginning of September when the contestants were announced, but also just because I feel like he seems like such a lovely person and is a big fan of the show, so it would be really nice for him to win. So that is what I have going on today, but before we jump into my thoughts on the books I'm reading, get started with some cozy vibes and hot drinks in preparation for Bake Off, I also have an exciting announcement because I'm going to be doing a giveaway. This giveaway is actually in collaboration with a brand called 17 London, who have the most wonderful backpacks that I absolutely love. So I'm going to unbox the backpacks that they sent me. I'm so excited to see them. I'm in love. I got two! Oh my god. So the first one is this beautiful blue backpack. I love it. As you know, I have like a yellow backpack that I love, so I'm a big fan of like a bold bag, but I'm so not into handbags, so cool backpacks are like my jam. And then the other one is this gorgeous pink and purpley one, which is so pretty as well. I'm literally loving these, and they also feel like really, really good quality, like they could hold a lot of books. So the giveaway that I'm holding in this video is in collaboration with 17 London, so you could win one of the backpacks, any of your choice from their website, and then I will be contributing any book of your choice. That can be through Amazon, through Book Depository, anywhere that basically does international shipping, and you can pick any book that you want, so you will get a new fabulous backpack and also a book that you fancy reading. So all that you need to do in order to enter this giveaway in today's vlog is obviously make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, and then leave a comment on this vlog telling me which book you are most excited to read before the end of 2020, and also which book that you've read so far this year has been your ultimate favourite. So that is all you need to do. Just leave that comment down below and I will pick a winner by a week after this vlog has come live. So you'll have a week in which to leave all of your answers and comments, and then I will select a winner, and that will get announced in the vlog that goes up on Friday the 4th of December. So if you do want to join in, then please do. I'd love to see what books you're excited to read and which books you've already read that you love. And 17's bags are literally so cute, so you should definitely enter if you want to win one. Hey guys, so it's actually now Thursday, so it's been a couple of days since I last caught up with you, and that is mostly just because this past couple of days has been so hectic in terms of my job, which has meant that I haven't had much time for all of the things that make vlogs very fun to watch. However, it's Thursday, I'm on my lunch break, and I thought I would catch up with you on everything that has been going on over the last couple of days. So I think the last time I caught up with you by speaking was when I was getting excited about the Great British Bake Off final, which has now passed. I won't go into what happened because I know that some countries are like a week behind we are, so I don't want to give away any spoilers, but as always, it was a wonderful show. I literally just love Bake Off so much, but it is bittersweet because now it means no more Bake Off for another year. But either way, I am glad that we got our series this year. I feel like I was even more grateful and appreciative of how wonderful Bake Off was this year because it was so close to not happening. So I was very, very excited about Bake Off and I loved it. I will say, however, to anyone that has watched the final, I was really disappointed with the showstopper challenges. I feel like these showstoppers were not very showstoppery at all. I don't know if anyone else thought that, but they just kind of looked a bit average and they weren't particularly exciting visually. So that was kind of a disappointment, but other than that, I mean, it was a good show. It was Bake Off, obviously, and I loved it. So I'd definitely love to know if you watched it and what you thought of the final. Obviously, not giving away any spoilers, but it was wonderful. Aside from that, I have managed to do a teeny tiny amount of reading because yesterday I got started on The Turn of the Screw. First thoughts, I am currently only like 30 pages in, but my immediate thoughts are, I forgot how arduous Henry James's writing style was. I read this book in my first year of university when I was doing my English degree, and it was a struggle to read then, but I kind of had forgotten about that and allowed myself to just go into this feeling optimistic, but bloody hell, he needs to remember to put a full stop in every once in a while. He writes in such run-on sentences with so many commas and subordinate clauses and bits of, like, it's almost as though when he finishes a sentence, it's a completely different thought to when he started it because he's gone on so many different tangents within every sentence. But actually, it's really difficult to follow exactly what is going on. For anyone that doesn't know, this is kind of a ghost story that follows the tale of a woman who is a governess for two young children, Flora and Miles, who are orphans and they live at Bly Manor, and that is essentially all we've got so far. There's some like slightly strange things about these children who are like almost too perfect to be true, but aside from that, nothing much is going on, and it is kind of difficult to follow because of how complex he makes his sentences, where really this is actually only a book that's like 100 and maybe like 30 or 40 pages long, but it could probably be like a really tiny novella that's like less than 100 pages if you actually just got to the point. So not loving the writing style, but I am obviously going to continue because this is the Dark Academics book pick and I obviously need to finish it. That's where I'm at with reading, with Bake Off, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's been going on for me. However, I don't think that there is. I will mention though that this is a current obsession of mine. It is the Violife vegan cream cheese. I've been having this in my lunch every single toast is ready every single day this week, and it is incredible. I was never like big into cream cheese before I was vegan. The only kind of context I would eat cream cheese in was in the form of cheesecake, because everyone loves cheesecake, but I've recently gotten into it. I don't even know what quite inspired me to buy the first one that I bought, but it's been a regular purchase of mine now for the last few weeks, and I am loving it. Potentially eating a little bit too much, and maybe I'm at risk of turning into cream cheese, but either way, I am absolutely obsessed. So that's kind of what's going on for me. I have decided also to extend the competition because based on my very busy work week and the fact that I haven't had that much time to film any interesting vlog content, I think that I'm going to put this vlog up on Sunday instead of Friday, which was my usual plan. And so I'm going to extend the competition to be from this Sunday to the following Sunday. So you will have a little bit more time to enter that giveaway. So if you want to enter that competition, then please do. And I think that's everything. I feel like you can probably tell I'm a little bit delirious. So tired because I was up early this morning to teach yoga and up late last night doing work, so I'm feeling a little bit tired, a little bit doolally, but I'm sure it's nothing a good bit of cream cheese and toast can't fix. Also worth mentioning, I don't know if this would go with normal cream cheese, but this vegan one is like a coconut based one, and I have some of it just plain, and then I also have a couple of slices with strawberry jam on, and it is such a delightful combination. Oh, I knew there was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. I knew it. I feel like saying a sentence that was quite like proper, like this strawberry jam is delightful, and has reminded me that I am obsessed with a new TV show. It's not a new TV show, it's just new to me, and that show is The Crown. I am loving The Crown. I came across it on TikTok because season 4 just came out, the one with Princess Diana's story in it, and everyone's obsessed, and I kept seeing so many TikToks come up about The Crown that I had to watch it. So I started it on Sunday, and I'm now almost at the end of season 2, and I'm obsessed, and I keep talking as if I'm in The Crown, or at least doing my best impression of Claire Foy being the Queen, because it's so good and I'm loving it. So if any of you watch it, I definitely would love to know, and also love to know whether any of you can't help yourself but try and put on like your best Queen's English voice, because I can't help myself. I just like to pretend that I am one of the royals. At least in this early bit, I have a feeling by the time I get to season 4 where they become a little bit horrible to poor Princess Diana, I'm probably not going to like them as much, but right now I quite like them. The fact that it is about 3 p.m. on Friday afternoon and the sun is already setting is kind of a horrific thing, aside from the fact that the sun looks so beautiful. On my left it's like really dark and cloudy and looks like it might rain, and then on the right it's super bright and beautiful as the sun is going down, and that is the one thing that is making these like super early sunsets slightly more bearable, is just how beautiful winter sunsets are. But aside from that, like I said, it is now Friday afternoon, sort of feels like Friday evening because it's almost dark already, but Em and I are about to film an episode of the podcast this evening, which I'm really excited about, and the topic we're talking about in this week's episode, which will go up on Wednesday next week, is basically how to deal with failure, getting resilient, and sort of dealing with like rejection, failure, and all that kind of stuff, which I think, given the current job climate, is something that a lot of people are dealing with. So I'm really excited to discuss that with her. And then after that, I am planning to do as much reading as possible because I need to finish The Turn of the Screw today.
Set myself aside, lead the way on this trial. If you don't know the way, we can stop and make a change. I know we walk for days, losing hope, fading love. This night will be okay, waking up to another day.
So Em and I did film the podcast episode earlier, which was really fun as always, and then after that I watched some more of The Crown. Surprise, surprise, that's literally all I've been doing this week, but I'm actually getting a little bit sad. The main reason that I started watching The Crown, as I mentioned, was because of TikTok, and the TikToks were all about season 4, and so I was really excited to get to that. But then I started, of course, with season 1, and I am loving the original cast so much. And for anyone who doesn't know how The Crown works, essentially there are casts set for 2 seasons. So I am now on episode 9 of season 2, and there are 10 episodes in every season. So the cast that are currently playing all of the characters are about to be replaced by ones that kind of like age up and move through the generations. And honestly, Claire Foy, who is playing the Queen in season 1, there is Matt Smith playing Prince Philip, there is Vanessa Kirby playing Princess Margaret, and I think she might be my favourite person in the entire series, and honestly they're just so good. I know that, you know, Olivia Colman and obviously Helena Bonham Carter are in the newer seasons, so I know that I'm gonna like them as well. But I am a little bit sad about the prospect of only having like one more episode with the original cast, just because they are all so good, and I wish that there was some way to like have everyone in it because they're all just amazing. But regardless, I'm obviously loving The Crown, and I have done a little bit of reading this evening, so I'm now on page 150 of The Turn of the Screw, and this book finishes on page 200. The book doesn't have 200 pages because this is a like duology type thing that comes with another one of Henry James's books, so it's actually only about, I mean, I think like 140 pages, so I've got 50 pages left. And I'm not gonna lie, I do not love this book. I kind of had a suspicion that I wasn't gonna love it because, like I mentioned before, I studied at a university and I didn't love it then. However, it's always interesting to come back to something outside of an academic context and see whether you enjoy it more when you're not having to like scrutinise it and tear it apart for essays. But in actual fact, I just don't think that I vibe very well with Henry James's writing style. It's just a very descriptive, but not in a way that I think really adds much in terms of atmosphere, and it kind of just feels like words for the sake of words rather than having words for purpose. And I'm personally not someone who minds like flowery language. I do like it when books create a really clear, vivid image, but I just feel like Henry James isn't doing that. He's actually using words to the detriment of clarity because there is so much going on in his descriptions that it's almost impossible to follow what he's talking about. But essentially in this book we have our governess. She is looking after 2 young children at Bly Manor, and there are some ghosts and apparitions, and you can tell that at the time that this book was written it would have been really chilling and scary. But now in the modern world where things like horror films and Stephen King exist and all of that kind of stuff, books like these just don't really have any kind of capacity to scare, I don't think. And in this instance, because it also is so bogged down by descriptive language, I also feel like it doesn't even have that chilling atmosphere that some older ghost type stories like say Frankenstein would have. And so all in all, I just feel like I don't love it, but I've only got 50 pages left and I'm going to be finishing this one in the morning. So I will catch up with you tomorrow to finish that book, and also hopefully to finish off Christmas at the Island Hotel as well. It is really a perfect afternoon for a ghost story, and I've just spent the last hour or so finishing off the last 50 pages of The Turn of the Screw. I am a little bit disappointed to say that I finished this book feeling completely unaffected by the characters, by the events, and just by the story in general. It just wasn't a story that I particularly enjoyed, and like I said, I kind of expected this, but at the same time I wanted to give the book another try because I do want to watch The Haunting of Bly Manor, and I also wanted to see how I felt about this book in terms of just reading something for pleasure and out of choice rather than for like an academic type of study. And unfortunately it just turns out that regardless of whether I'm reading it for enjoyment or for academia, it just isn't a particularly enjoyable book by my standards. I just found that it felt very flat. As you've already heard me complain about, I just wasn't a big fan of Henry James's very heavy on detail writing style. I just felt like it actually took away from the book rather than adding it, which is not what you expect from a lot of detail, but in this case I just felt it was to the detriment of the entire story. And I just feel, again, looking at a book like this by comparison to modern day ghost stories in terms of books, thrillers, horrors, and of course horror movies, it just didn't have the same effect. It felt very, I guess the word is melodramatic, and yet it didn't affect me as a reader at all because this is a ghost story. We have our governess and the 2 creepy children. Of the 2 children, the only one that I feel like has any character, and actually probably the most interesting character from the book, is the little boy Miles. He's like the most intriguing character because in one sense he seems very good, and then in the other sense he seems almost calculating and sinister. So he's kind of an interesting character. But we have those 2 children, and then we have some ghosts. and the governess is so dramatic about these ghosts and acts as if they're like terrible, and yet really all they do is just exist. They just stand there and they're not particularly sinister. They don't seem to do anything or really have any malicious intent, and so I just felt like it was a really flat and quite dull book. So I'm interested to see what everyone else thinks about this book at the live show later on this evening. But I am glad to have finished it because that means now I can turn my attention back to Christmas at the Island Hotel, which I have about 100 pages left of, and I'm going to try and finish this one also before the live show, not because I need to, but just because I want to, because I was loving this book so much last week, but then I kind of had to pause it and prioritise The Turn of the Screw. But now I can turn back to this one and enjoy a cosy evening. It is so rainy and so grim and dull outside, but that just makes getting in bed and reading a festive book all the more enticing. So I'm just getting ready to set up for the Dark Academics live show, and I am so intrigued to hear what everyone else thinks of it. I've just been on our Discord chat and there are some very interesting theories and discussions about everything going on in The Turn of the Screw, and despite not having enjoyed it, I still think it's going to be interesting to discuss what was in the book and see how everyone else interpreted it. But before I do that, I thought I would wrap up today's vlog with my thoughts on the wonderfully festive Christmas at the Island Hotel, which was just the perfect antidote to my feelings and experience of reading The Turn of the Screw, because every single page of this book is just so wonderful, magical, festive, light-hearted, and just generally a joy to read. Jenny Colgan is quickly becoming a favourite author of mine. Granted, I've only read now 2 of her books, both of which were Christmas themed, but she just has a fabulously cozy and heartwarming way of writing that makes her characters feel so relatable, even if you don't actually have the specific experiences that they're going through. She makes them all feel so real and human, and I just think that she adds so many incredible layers into her books that combine those really lovely, heartwarming, joyous moments with some much more serious themes as well. And I just absolutely adored this book, and I'm so glad to have read it. It is obviously now the 28th of November, and so we're only a few days away from the start of the Christmas season officially, and this book has been the perfect setup for the Christmas season, and I honestly am now just so excited and feeling so festive. So I absolutely loved this book. I realised I didn't give you a star rating for The Turn of the Screw, but I have decided to rate that one 2 stars and this one a big old golden 5 stars because I loved it. And so with that, I think I will bring this vlog to an end. But before I do, just another reminder that you have officially got 1 week in which to enter the giveaway that I'm hosting on this channel, where you can win one of these wonderful backpacks from 17 London, as well as any book of your choice that I can send you from either Book Depository or Amazon, or basically anywhere that does international book shipping. And to enter, you just have to leave a comment telling me what is the book that you are most excited to read before the end of the year, and your favourite book that you have read in 2020 so far. This vlog is going live tomorrow, which is Sunday the 29th of November, and then the winner will be announced the following Sunday. So you have a week in which to watch this, enter the giveaway, leave your comments, and then I will select a winner in next week's vlog. So without further ado, I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on The Turn of the Screw, as well as Christmas at the Island Hotel, and I will leave a link in the description down below to the live show for The Turn of the Screw in case you're interested in hearing everyone else's thoughts on that book. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in my next vlog, because the next time I pick up the camera to film a vlog, it will be December, and I'm planning to film a lot a lot of festive vlog content over these next few weeks, and I hope you're as excited about it as I am. So thank you so much, and I will see you at Christmas!